Okay, so what the hell happened? Naughty Dog had a good thing going with the first Jak game. Sure, colorful platformers were dying out around that time, but did they have to hit the reset button so early? I feel like this game is Naughty Dog's edgy teenage years. The whole time traveling to the future, Jak getting tortured and becoming a demonic anti-hero, the new dark industrial setting, like you could just feel the angst. One of the characters even curses at one point.
Get your squirrely ass out of here.
Jak actually speaks now, and a lot of his dialogue has him being an edgy Avenger. I mean, it's understandable considering the 2 years of torture, and I actually think that his chemistry with Daxter is even better in this game, considering they're polar opposites now. My problem with this game is not with the dramatic shift in tone, but with the dramatic shift in gameplay. Instead of going around collecting power cells, you spend most of your time driving around Haven City doing various tasks for various boring people. It's like GTA, except you don't have the freedom to fuck around. There's nothing to do outside of the missions and challenges, and even if there was, you wouldn't want to do them anyway considering how much of a pain in the ass it is to navigate through the city. The driving is hideous. It's as stiff as a brick. You can either fly high in the air or low to the ground, but it doesn't really matter since you're going to be bumping into something every 5 seconds. If it's not another vehicle in the air, then it's another one of these crimson fuckers on the ground. And what are these vehicles even made out of? The slightest bump will cause your ride to explode. When you're not driving, you're shooting, and as the cover art suggests, Jak is packing heat in this game. Jak 2 is more combat focused than his predecessor, which would be fine if the shooting didn't suck. I thought the lock-on system in the first Ratchet & Clank was kinda finicky. Here, you have to slightly lean Jak in whatever direction the enemy is and pray he locks onto them. And speaking of Ratchet & Clank, while Jak and Daxter are packing heat in this game, their arsenal isn't shit compared to theirs. No wonder they got their asses kicked in Death Battle. Going back to not being able to move without bumping into something, Haven City is way too populated. In order to make the world feel lived in, Naughty Dog did the same thing Rockstar did with GTA 3, by just having a bunch of NPCs wander around, except it's worse here because the frame rate chugs at times. The first Jak game wasn't perfect with the frames either, but here it happens a lot more. One of the biggest criticisms that everyone seems to agree on is how messed up the checkpoints in this game are. Whoever programmed these checkpoints needs to get slapped with a cactus. You can lose up to 15 minutes of gameplay in some of these missions, which doesn't sound that much on paper, but there's a lot of things in this game that you don't want to do again. Lord have mercy if you die during one of the latter half of these escort missions. There's no way to speed things up, and if you die, you have to do the whole thing over again. The shitty checkpoints are one of the major reasons why I'm never playing this game again. But even more than that, why are there so many damn time trial missions? Do people actually like these? At least for me, if you want to make something unfun, add a timer to it. And make no mistake about it, Jak 2 is a difficult game. At least, it's a fairly challenging game full of a lot of difficulty spikes. Naughty Dog must have taken the criticisms of Jak 1 being too easy to heart because they really drown you in water with the amount of bullshit I mentioned earlier. Not too eager to play Jak 3, but who knows, maybe I actually like that one. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Bring on the downvotes.